I love the fast food chain Dick's in Washington, specifically, I think in Seattle and Seattle area, but they have not raised the price of their food. Very often, everything's $3 or under ish on their menu. And they also allow no substitutions or changing things out, which is fine. I just add on onions and then I get a little packet and I have to put it. Anyway, I digress. But they have also raised the wage of their employees by a lot over the years. I think that their like minimum salary is like 17 salary minimum hourly wage is like 17 or $18. It might be 20 or 25. I don't know. I looked at it and I was like, that's a pretty good deal. Maybe I should look at working here pretty recently. They also pay for college and they pay
Oh,
and they have health insurance and they have everything. And they are just like a super supportive business. It seems like maybe they have something terrible about them. I don't know what it is yet. I hope I don't find out because I am going to continue to ride hard for them.
nobody write in. Nobody write in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, we don't want to know. Do not email debutbuddies@gmail.com about this. But it does. That sounds like an 11/22/63 scenario, which
Yes,
is not a
what is
horrible
this?
thing. Upside, it is a Stephen King book, but it's not a horrible thing. This story is about a character who finds a time portal that goes back to before President Kennedy was assassinated. And so he gets to kind of like try to change the future in the past. Try to change the past. Yeah, just trying to
Like,
change the past to change the future. Anyway, he finds this portal, spoilers,
Oh,
oh
in the
no.
basement of a burger joint that has like notoriously inexpensive hamburgers
oh my God, they're
because it
getting their
It
turns
might be
out
based off
resources.
of this.
because it turns out that the guy that runs the burger joint knows the portal is there and he goes back to 1963, buys hamburger for really cheap and then brings it to the
Oh,
future
I
and
This
then
is
love
also,
sells it.
this.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
this is also similar to a TV show I'm watching right now that's garbage, but they do go to the past in order to take resources because
Get
the
ground
future
beef.
is lacking on resources.
I mean, why don't we just do that? Like we all
We're
I
doing
mean,
really bad at using them today. So portals, let's
other
make them.
consequence of that is if we just keep going back and burning old resources
Yeah,
faster.
things are gonna get way worse, way faster up
Well,
here.
okay, now we've stumbled on an interesting thing. If you go back in time and take all the oil and coal away from the past to continue a future, then there's no
Without
oil and
burning it.
coal to use
Okay.
in the
Oh,
past.
Yeah.
So eventually we hit a point where we run out in like 1978 when we should
Okay.
have stopped,
Okay.
when we had ample warning to stop, and maybe
Okay.
everything just becomes better by proxy.
Okay. I think that we just found our like Nobel Prize. This is genius. I think that you're absolutely right.
mhm.
If not for science, at least for bullshit.
Oh, I meant the peace one, not like
Oh,
whatever the others are.
Science.
oh, great, yeah, yeah, I can totally do peace. Lots of idiots have done Nobel Peace Prizes.
Doesn't Obama have a Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, I think he does.
Uh,
I think he got one in like 2012 or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
That doesn't seem right. Whatever.
literally no politician ever should receive a peace prize. They
No.
don't
That's
trade in
fair.
peace. The business is different. Although Nelson Mandela
Could
did.
we could probably find could we find something about everyone that has gotten a Peace Prize and how they shouldn't have it? I feel like there's just always stuff coming out about people as to why we shouldn't like them that we always thought were very good. Tom Hanks, it's fine. It's not fine.
Mr. Feeney.
What?
Mr. Feeney. Did y'all hear about the Mr.
No,
Feeney news?
no.
It's I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's
Okay,
that
I'm
bad,
just gonna
but it
brace myself.
was very funny to me. He his wife is writing a book and
Okay.
she came out saying that early in their like 70-year marriage,
Okay.
they had an open relationship and it was devastating to her.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I know.
Was he hooking up with David Hasselhoff during
Probably.
Knight Rider? Is that what
You
it
know?
was?
That's my suspicion. Yeah. But in like a her situation, right? Because he was the voice of the car. So he was
Oh, yeah.
doing like he was
Yeah.
Scarjo to Hasselhoff's Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he was asking to have his leather seats stroked and whatnot.
Yeah, he was, and then Hasselhoff is like, turn on the seat warmer.
Gross.
First is best, or first is worst. Either way, let's dive in at first. Give us reasons to converse. Debut buddies.
This is Debut Buddies. It's a fortnightly podcast about firsts. And boy, howdy, we're off to a great start.
Mhm.
Boy Meets World, howdy.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. That's what it's going to be like today.
We're gonna have to actually do Boy Meets World at some point.
Yes.
Like the first one,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure would be delightful.
Yes.
But this episode, we are talking about the first ever single with a swear word in the title to break the UK top 40 singles chart. And that particular song was the fourth single by Dead Kennedys. It was released in May of 1981, and it is titled Too Drunk to Fuck.
Yep. That's it. That's the one.
And it's coming in hard with that curse word, which is nice. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's
You're
good to
not-
like set expectations in the title, I think.
yeah, you don't have any lower swear words that broke the top 40. It went hard.
Mm-hmm.
It also it's a title that really I think across human experience resonates. Like you
Sure. Yeah.
it's a real if you know scenario, right? Like you either get what the title of the song means or you do not.
Yeah. Maybe you get it a little too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh boy. Did you guys listen to the Dead Kennedys like in your lives? Are
Not-
they important to you?
For yes, but no. Like I'm here. Okay.
Okay, go on.
That's a good answer.
More important to me in my like late 20s and beyond life, where I actually bothered to sit down and listen and not be sort of turned off. Like a lot of my youth, I just wasn't like I didn't engage with like punk kind of music.
Punk broadly, so it wasn't just the Dead Kennedys that
No, I mean,
drew you.
I like, like the most I got into when I was a kid was like the pop punk shit in the 90s that we listened to that like is exhausting and
Green
also
Day.
like catchy as fuck. And
Yeah.
and so once that wave passed, I like didn't have a whole lot of interest in going back. And then I sort of hit like a period of time in my late 20s of going back and listening to like ska and like the Specials and getting into punk too, and really trying to like understand what you're dealing with, right? Because Dead Kennedys I knew most as the logo on a t-shirt that seemed
Yeah.
like there were the tough guys that I'd see in high school who had like Dead Kennedy shirts on, and I'd be like, I don't know what that means, but the way those letters are set up is scaring me a little bit. I don't
They
know.
are very aggressive, the logo. It's
Mhm.
very aggressive.
But like Jello Biafra being the singer of Dead Kennedys, like I knew of Jello Biafra largely again because of my job when I worked at the kite store, and I worked with a lot of other guys who were really into music.
Okay.
And we used to have in the call
Got it.
center, we used to have the ability to.
We're like kites. Dead Kennedys make sense. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like
totally.
from Boulder, so I was like, he a big kite man? He coming into your kite shop? Like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on?
No, but I mean, we had sort of free reign on the stereo in the
Mhm.
office, so just all kind. I was just exposed to a lot of different kinds of music and a lot of different kinds of stuff. So this was one of those things that sort of my mind opened around when I was like 25, 26, 27,
Okay.
and then I started really expanding into other stuff. And and this is like a good fucking song.
Yeah, and it's very Dead Kennedys. Before we get into the song though, Chelsea, what's your like history with the Dead Kennedys or punk?
I know this is going to shock our listeners, but I have no experience. So, like, when I listened to this song, we could have done a reaction to somebody reacting to Dead Kennedys for the first time.
No, not the first time. You just don't know that you
could have been in the background at something or other, but no, I haven't had like specifically piped into my ears with knowing it's the Dead Kennedys.
Yeah, not with knowing, but like you've heard Holiday in Cambodia. Holiday in Cambodia.
I listened to it today. No, I know you're singing it, but I listened to it today, but I do not recall hearing it. Like I didn't get nostalgic. I didn't feel anything from earlier in my life at the time of listening to it. So I like remember maybe in the movie Bring It On, I think one of the guys in it wears a t-shirt. No, the song isn't nothing. No song. He wears the t-shirt. And that's how I knew it was the t-shirt. And I just knew it was a band, but I had never listened to it. And I don't like it took me, I listened to the Misfits for the first time like this last year too. So like I have not, and I'm sure that somebody would be like, oh, I made you listen to that. And I'd be like, my brain shut off during that time, or it has just expelled it for some reason. I enjoyed listening to it a lot, and I kept listening to different songs because I enjoyed listening to this one. So positive experience if I were to record my first listening.
Oh, that's nice. So the reason I was so sure that you had heard Holiday in Cambodia is not because I thought that you would be nostalgic or that you had sought it out or anything. It's just that it's in like half a dozen commercials.
That's a good
at this point.
That's
somewhat ironically.
Well, I can talk more about what happened there. I also didn't grow up listening to punk or the Dead Kennedys. I think that the first time I like thought about them as an entity was not until college when Holiday in Cambodia was on Rock Band. So that's where I learned about them. And I distinctly remember not liking it. Like the guys would be like, let's play Holiday in Cambodia. And I'd be like, nah. Though I think that that's because they always made me be the singer. And that's, I am no Jello Biafra. I simply am not. So this was the first time I'd heard this song prepping for this podcast. I know that this was a topic that I suggested, but it's because I've been listening to a history of punk. And you know, they mentioned first song with swear words in the British top 40, and I was like, that sounds great for my podcast. Thank you, other podcast. I will be taking that.
These are how content eggs are hatched into content birds.
Yep. Shout out No Dogs in Space. A great podcast about music. Yeah, Dead Kennedys. They're weird. They're fun, right?
What I absolutely love, and this ties nicely into the previous Super Mario Brothers episode that we recorded, that had another sort of, I mean, not a punk musician, but a protest musician in the movie.
Oh yeah,
right. And what I love, I think, in going back to rediscover/discover these things, is just how thick and obvious the commentary is.
Oh yeah. And
I love it. I love the and I get it. Like I wasn't a rebellious kid, so I think that the reason why I never glommed on to this kind of music was because I wasn't trying to rebel against anything. But if I was listening to this, you go, oh fuck yeah, that says exactly what I think. All of this is bullshit. And you know, I mean, Holiday in Cambodia for a great example, right? A song that is like a pure protest song that's also satirizing all of the shit.
Yep.
This song,
like California Uber Alice, same situation. Like all of their music is so political.
Yeah, I love it. I love it when music is capable of being witty and on the nose and also rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
Again, timeless.
Speaking of on the nose stuff, how much did you guys read about the Dead Kennedys as a whole? Because I can think of two like funny performances they did that were protesty performances that were very on the nose.
I didn't read about it, so I would like to hear about it.
Yes, tell us.
Okay. There are two in particular that I'm thinking of. One, they were asked to be on some, I don't even remember the name of the show, but some like music showcase that was being televised. And
Was it on MTV? Because didn't they have some
I
music against
don't
MTV?
know. I don't know. I don't think so because they seemed out of touch. So this TV
Show did?
show, the show did.
Okay.
They were like trying to show that they were like hip and modern. And so they were like, we're gonna play, like, we're gonna showcase new wave artists. And because they didn't know what new wave was or how it differed from punk, they asked the Dead Kennedys to come on. And they agreed. And they come out on stage and they're all wearing white button downs with a big S on the front. And then as they start performing a song that, to my knowledge, was never on an album, and like this performance is the only recording we have of it. I don't know how true that was. I didn't do any research. But as they start performing the song, they whip their black ties around over the S. It makes a $sign. And the lyrics of the song are like, ugh, they're also really crass. It's like, is my cock small enough? Is my brain, or maybe cock big enough, brain small enough? I don't know. But their whole point was like, you are paying for this. Like, am I dumb enough to be a shill? And so they like, weren't asked back.
No shot.
I think that's really bold. I think it's bold to exist in a state of defiance. And I think that that's what's, I mean, look, we have, as recently as the last 6 to 7 months, had a bunch of conservatives continually sort of be like, Rage Against the Machine never used to be political.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And like Rage was a state of defiance, but probably the most corporate version of that defiance available. And Dead Kennedys is like the full-on actual defiance. It's like, no, every bridge we cross, we're burning. That's it.
Every one of them.
The other thing I kind of forgot when we were talking about this was you both have seen the movie Green Room, right?
Yes.
And the band in Green Room plays the Nazi bar.
No, Chelsea, have you not? It's horror and it's Anton Yelchin.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it for your.
I think I'm so sorry.
You gotta watch it for your podcast.
Okay.
I'll come on. We can all talk about it.
Perfect.
They cover this band is playing a gig and they end up in like a Nazi biker bar, like a skinhead biker bar. And it's a punk band. It's Aaliyah Shawkat and Anton Yelchin and a couple of other people whose names have escaped me. But they go up and they play a cover of Nazi Punk's Fuck Off by Dead Kennedys.
Yeah.
And that in particular got me listening to Dead Kennedys for like 3 months because I watched that movie and I was like, oh shit. And then I started going like, oh, all this is really good.
Yeah.
But that's another song where that song is about defining punk as not being a thing that you believe in or being a product. It's like they literally say punk means thinking for yourself, right? So like the most punk thing to do is to just do whatever to be based, as the kids say.
Yeah. So that was absolutely part of it. But also there was like a plague of Nazis in the punk scene at this time. And so they made this song literally to be like, stop fucking coming to our shows, because they'd roll in and like start fights in the audience. Like people were coming to, especially because of their song California Uber Alice. So like, Nazis are not great at nuance and like understanding satire. So they like heard this song and they're like, that's a rally cry for us. So they're like showing up to Dead Kennedys concerts and like Sieg Heiling in the audience. And Jello Biafra is not about neither is the rest of the band, but he like would like, stop the show and be like, no. What the fuck are you doing? Like, we're anti-fascist. Why are you celebrating that? Like, fucking stop. And so they, made the song Nazi Punks Fuck Off. And then he would do this thing when they played this song where he would so he also thought hippies were like approaching fascism. He was really against
they
hippies.
Are.
Yeah. And so he would like, when he'd played this song, he would like walk around the stage like doing the Sieg Heil motion, but with a peace sign on the end of his hand. Like oh, they're fun. They're funny.
Well, and we both resoundingly said, yeah, because not wrong either. There's a level to which, like, oh, if your allegiance is to like hyper individualism, that's just as as fascist as
like when you're making
authoritarianism.
rules, like stop it. When you're making rules that everybody has to adhere to, stop it.
Yeah. Even if you got a flower in your hair, doesn't count.
Yeah, doesn't change anything.
Should we get into this song? Should we go like stanza by stanza?
Oh boy,
break
yeah,
it down.
Let's get into it. Let's do it.
Let's break it down.
I'm gonna type for a second so I can pull up the lyrics and look at them at the same time that we're talking about them. If that is all right with you guys.
It's cool with me. I'll probably just leave this in too. I've taken a lax perspective to editing.
That's fair.
I think that we're fun to be around and people deserve to understand how the sausage is made. So stanza 1. Went to a party. I danced all night. I drank 16 beers and started up a fight.
Yeah.
Simple enough.
Yep. Straightforward. We've got a scene. We know what's happening.
We have place. We have a main character. We have a protagonist. The protagonist. Well, we don't know yet. We don't.
He's an antagonist. He's just a antagonist.
Yeah, just antagonist. Just antagonist.
Yeah. To be a pro or
neutral
antagonist requires a form of fascism. So yes, just antagonist. We know they like to dance, and they drank 16 beers, but they danced all night. So 16 beers isn't that much potentially. It depends what kind of beer it is, right?
I guess it depends what time the night started. You know how these youths are like, we're not getting to the club until 2 a.m. So like, that could
be a lot of beers between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which would explain the fight. But anyway, they start up a fight.
What do we know exactly to that? Could the 16 beers have been over like a month span?
Oh,
no, at the party.
I don't think so. It does say when to. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Okay. I was seeing if I could start up a fight at some point this year.
Wait, but also the song is called Too Drunk to Fuck, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
We're not getting there on a 16 beer per month average.
Second stanza. But now I am jaded. You're out of luck. I'm rolling down the stairs. Too drunk to fuck.
Oh, man.
Seems to be a declaration of like, I can't fuck. I can't get it up for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like too drunk to fuck can mean like, it's literally the state of being so jaded.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've definitely been too drunk to do stairs.
Both up and down?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh. Yeah, I have to. Having some bad memories happen. I feel like that's going to happen a couple times while we go through this.
This is the nature of this. To have experienced the content of the song, we have to delve into horrible pasts.
Yeah.
Then we have our first chorus verse, which is I'm too drunk to fuck. You're too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to fuck. I'm too drunk to fuck. Now, what we didn't mention before is that this has like a killer surf rock.
Yeah.
Like this is all driving surf garage rock guitars. Just like ripping it up. The East Bay Ray.
I love East Bay
shredding.
Ray. Oh my God. The Dead Kennedys overall are like surprisingly surfy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't think about it. I don't know. I didn't think about it as an association with punk, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
It's also like the coolest sort of thing to co-opt for punk, right? Because you're coming into because this is like 1981. They form in like 78 or 79. So you're like getting into the wave of rock and roll is kind of dead. People are sort of saying,
you said wave, so I had to do the surf rock riff.
Out.
Sorry, go on. I interrupted you while you were making a good voice.
But yeah, I think like in the timeline of at least American music history, you have like rock sort of hits this peak in the like late 60s, early 70s. Rock sort of dies because prog rock comes and happens, and people sort of like everything sort of breaks away from a traditional like drums, guitar, bass second guitar, vocalist, whatever, and starts leaning into these experimental things, right? So you're getting like psychedelic rock that sort of tails itself out, and disco comes in, and Motown sort of crests a wave that ends up crashing into disco. Lots of surf references I'm making. Totally not on purpose.
Vibe. That's the vibe.
And so you sort of have like the concept, like I would assume both of these guys born, I'm guessing, like in the 50s or something. Do we know? Is anybody? I'm going to look it up real fast. We'll see if I can find it quickly. Yeah, so 58. So Jello Biafra, he's born in 58. He's listening to probably the Beach Boys during his childhood. So surf music is both popular music and indicative of like corporatocracy, right? Like this is the produced stuff for the masses. And so to turn around and be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take surf rock, but I'm going to make surf rock fucking punk.
There was a lot of surf rock that wasn't commercial though. And it's fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot. I'm throwing out wild hypotheses too. This is.
Yeah, and if you guys want to throw out recommendations, I'm looking for more music to listen to, and I don't mind listening to surf surf rock.
surfy and punky rock.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to angry kind of hard rock punk, I would recommend checking out McCluskey. They're a lot of fun. They have a song called Lightsaber Cocksucking Blues.
Is there an X or is that an SK?
It's an SK.
Okay.
McLusky. McCluskey.
Okay, I added an extra C.
So we come out of the chorus, and it's I like your stories, I love your gun. Shooting out cop tires sounds like loads and loads of fun.
Yeah, it does.
Which okay, right there, the song is taking this huge turn that it's like, okay, this isn't just a party. This is our kind of party.
Yeah.
I love the escalation. I love the fact that like this is going bigger and bigger and bigger. But at the same time, I don't know. At the same time, we still have this looming sense of dread, right? That like this isn't like none of this is going to happen. Like I can't. Yeah. Like you're literally not going to finish. So all of this is like a tease, right?
Oh boy. Am I being dirty? Were you doing something with the word finish and
absolutely
tease? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You delivered it so dryly that I was like
But in my room, wish you were dead. You bawl like the baby in a racer head.
Yeah, so we need to talk about this.
We got to talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Pop-up video. Boop.
Nate, have you seen Eraserhead?
Not in a long time, but yeah.
Do you remember do you recall the baby?
You remember the baby.
Oh yeah, I know the baby.
Okay.
Everyone knows the baby.
You got to see the baby.
I have such a distinct memory of watching this for the first time. This was Chelsea and I watched it around the same time, but not together. I watched Eraserhead alone in my room, lights off, headphones in, laptop. So it's like up close to my face. I'm essentially in like sensory deprivation. Just watching it so close. And I guess maybe this is going to be a little bit of an Eraserhead spoiler. So skip ahead, I guess. Toward the end of the movie, like when the baby is there and the baby is crying, I had this weird thought that was like, I'm so scared that when he turns around, the baby is going to be gigantic. And there's no reason for you to think that. There's no foreshadowing.
No.
But I had that thought, and then he turns around and the baby's gigantic. And I was like, did I create this?
It is the movie that like is created by intrusive thoughts. I feel like
changes you if you sensory deprivate. Like I got so in tune with the movie that I could predict crazy things that were about to happen. Like it got inside me.
Do you feel like that happens with other films too?
I can't think of an experience like that I can remember. Have you experienced it in other movies?
I frequently will be watching a movie and be like, oh, I think this is going to happen. And then pretty much that happens later on, which it's different than, it's not exactly what you're saying, but there is that kind of like connection to the like the resonant deeper level of the story that's like, oh, I know where this is going, right? In the same way that like you can do that with music too. If you listen to songs enough, you kind of know like, oh, this chord progression is going to break this.
Yes, I was absolutely just about to say I feel like I can do that with music. I have another very distinct memory. I was with a friend of mine and he was like, you've got to listen to the A Star Is Born soundtrack. And I was like, nah, I don't know. Fine, put it on. And then immediately I'm like belting along with the lyric. Never heard it before, but like there's a formula. There's a formula.
Yeah.
What about you, Chelsea?
Any sensory deprivation movies?
Yeah.
Or clairvoyance.
Like creep inside you. Or
no, I have a problem with predicting what's going to happen in movies. Lately, I've lost my power, but that was something that I was shockingly good at. Like I could watch the first 10 minutes of a movie and say, even if there was a twist, what the twist was. I don't have that anymore. I would love to have it back. But I do, whenever we talk about like sensory deprivation and like fully engulfing yourself in movies, like that is and the only time I remember doing it, and I feel like I bought a bunch of stuff in order to recreate it, and it's going to sound silly. It's Bird Box, but I like had first moved into my apartment in Seattle, and I was just alone in a room, had a projector up, and I like sat in a really uncomfortable chair, but I was so enthralled. And like, it's just like a moment when you're just like alone with it. And you just feel like you're in it and it's everything. And that's also how I felt about Eraserhead, but I'm pretty sure I watched it on like a miniature screen because I couldn't get a higher resolution.
You were
so it was
even
like a tiny little screen. But that's how I also watched like Cannibal Holocaust, just like tiny little screens on my computer because it's all that it would download. Thank you. Legal downloading that I did.
I watched so many movies on my like iPod. Like I know exactly what you mean. Like so little, and
you're like, I can't make it any bigger, or it's gonna get too pixelated that I can't understand what's happening. But yeah, that's my experience with sensory deprivation and
with
prediction.
Screaming Eraserhead baby.
Oh yeah, the Eraserhead baby. Like you bawl like the baby in Eraserhead. That's just such an uncomfortable. Upsetting. I was like, I would run out. But are you too drunk to run? Are you too drunk to get out of the room? That would be terrifying and upsetting on so many levels that are like, that is the most upsetting thing that could happen, in my opinion.
Oh man. Oh God. Sorry. I'm just imagining the look of the baby.
Oh yeah. All those exposed organs.
Like the baby.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the question, because we get the chorus again, but the chorus has changed because it's I'm too drunk to fuck, too drunk to fuck, too drunk to fuck. It's all I need right now, too drunk to fuck. So there's a couple of readings of that. One, it could be like, hey, all I need right now is to get down.
Yeah.
It could also mean following but in my room, wish you were dead. You bawl like the baby in Eraserhead. Is this declaration of like, I need to be too drunk to fuck because this person is so irritating that I have to get out of here, right? Because it's like, because the preceding two are like, I like your stories, I loved your gun, and we had presumably they have a great conversation. They're enjoying each other's company. They enjoy shooting cop tires, and then they go back to their room, and it's like, oh God, you're like screaming like this horrible eldritch beast, baby. And I just need to be so drunk that this can't happen.
Oh no. Well, good news, because the next stanza reveals that he is too drunk.
Sick, soft, gooey, and cold.
Ew. Yeah. Oh no. It's also, I don't know, the chorus sometimes is I'm too drunk to fuck, you're too drunk to fuck. Y'all, let's go to bed. You can just like,
that's fine. It's a mixture of being drunk and also listening to somebody cry like the baby from Eraserhead.
Yeah.
I feel like that would not in any way turn me on. Would do the opposite. Would sick, soft, and gooey and cold. Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something that's sort of, I guess, sweet about this too, because they are like, it's this weird, like, they're both caught up in this moment that's supposed to be this like beautiful expression, and to some people, I mean, in 1981, a lot of people are like, oh, they're going to make love, right? They're not like
there's going to be ocean waves crashing, and there's going to be beautiful music in the background. Train's
going to go through a tunnel. A rocket's gonna lift off. It's this is really, I mean, some of the punkness is that it's unraveling this romantic notion of what happens, right? Like, these people have a meet cute at a party, and they're literally just too intoxicated to do anything.
They just met.
Yeah, I mean, they have similar interests, and they want to go home together. And then, it's like, I'm about to drop, my head's a mess. The only salvation is I'll never see you again, which is to say, like, hey, look, one, this isn't going anywhere. And two, I'm embarrassed.
I'm so embarrassed.
This isn't going to work. Like, this is an embarrassing scenario. And then the next stanza, you give me head, it makes it worse. Take out your fucking retainer, put it in your purse.
What? Take out your retainer, girlies. And boilies.
And boilies.
Take out your retainer.
If you can. If it's wired in there, don't try to take it out.
I guess just be careful. Actually, here's my question. What about Invisalign? What about my Invisalign style retainer?
Could it inadvertently cause more pressure because of your expectation of the size of your teeth?
Huh. Maybe
it's good. I don't know.
Maybe with some of them.
I don't have Invisalign.
Mine are very, very
test
very
it out.
thin.
Report back.
No, I won't be testing that out because of the cleaning situation that will follow.
Should we jump into the mouth guard report?
Feels like it.
Although before we do jump into the mouth guard report, I do want to say, I think I would just venture the Invisalign would be fine, because generally speaking, I believe there's like smooth edges on that.
Yeah,
that's true.
If anything, it might be safer. Yeah, we should maybe. Jello's on Twitter. I'll tweet at him and get his thoughts
from the official account. You got to tweet from our account. It's mouth guard report.
The mouth guard report.
Yay! Wouldn't it be funny if I came in and was like, okay, during the break, I did try it. Regrettably, I didn't. Or regrettably, I don't regret it,
know.
Actually.
I mean,
what's everybody's mouth guard sitch? Or garf cart sitch?
I'm trying to think of any garf.
My mouth guard is great.
Yeah.
I've had like a surprisingly less clenchy couple of days, so that's been fun.
That's
where
wonderful.
you just, because some nights I'm just like biting on it, just because it's there, and I've had like a semi-relaxed jaw, which is kind of that's fun. It's a fun thing. It's like a I don't know. It's
What's
April.
Your secret?
It's like a April Fool's joke, I guess. This time of year. But I did pick up that Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3.
Yes.
And I have been playing it. In this, you get to be Garf, and you get to ride a motorcycle.
Ooh,
so I got Garf on a motorcycle cruising around.
Whoa.
Knocking the hay out of Arnold.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, I have a question about proportions. Is this a Garfield-sized motorcycle or a motorcycle-sized Garfield?
Everyone in the game
is that the same?
Roughly the same size. Like, so Garfield is a cat size, kind of, but the motorcycles are all kind of the same. Look, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like,
okay.
Everyone's a little bit small in it. So
I mean, I don't need it to make
small.
sense. I was just curious. I was just curious about the dimensions.
Yeah, but it still has the same level design flaw that these games have, which is that there's this like oversized, sprawling reality around you that seems out of proportion. Just like in the original Garf Kart, where you're driving through a suburb where all of the cats are like the size of mice, I guess. compared to the
No.
houses themselves.
I'm certain I brought this up the first time we talked about this, so apologies to the listeners. But that's exactly the one and only flaw of the live action Cats. Is that the proportions just don't make sense. Sometimes they're human-sized
The one
cats,
and only.
sometimes they're cat-sized cats, sometimes they're rat-sized cats. Yeah, one and only. I said it.
But
No,
holes.
two. Two is the lack of buttholes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, perfect movie, just like Super Mario Brothers.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I
Oh.
don't think I have any mouth guard notes.
Same. I haven't updated mine. I did get an email from Tiki being like, "We can't charge your account anymore. What's going on?" I don't know.
Just send him a link to the podcast.
I don't know what to tell you.
Just send him a link to our last episode that says, "Hey,
I'm gonna try
slander
your
you on our show until you do right by Chelsea."
Until you want to sponsor us, because you're having such a good time with Cheeky. So
Yeah, we've really got a point counterpoint situation going on with Cheeky.
I don't know, like the one that I'm using just is still there, but I also don't think I'm like the ideal, or I don't think I think I'm the ideal user because I don't put that many miles on it, so to speak. Like I don't think I'm going to chew through this thing ever.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna chew through mine. Mine, I feel like I've had some chewy nights recently. So if we're talking about the chewing, I had some inflammation in my gums, and I think it's from the grinding. But it's not like my stress levels have been a little bit lower.
You still putting a little cocaine on those gums too?
To keep them calm down, right? Or does that inflame them?
Numbs them?
Does it do both? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's just relief.
Yeah, I put them. I line my mouth guard with it, and then I put it, and then I don't sleep for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. You just say hello to my little friend.
Yeah.
And then she tucks in her little horse head.
Love it. Two different movies.
I don't know things. I don't know things.
No, it's great. I mean, I like the idea of a single Pacino movie that just involves
just
all
one.
of the.
Well, the one with the horse head is the cocaine. Are they both?
That's
cocaine
Godfather
ones?
and Scarface.
Yeah. There's no coke. Well,
Godfather
there is cocaine.
Scarface is cocaine.
Scarface is cocaine.
There's cocaine in Godfather, but they're actively pushing against selling drugs in that movie.
Wait, Pacino's in Godfather?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young and very attractive.
He's so foxy when he's young. Yeah,
He's Michael
Agreed.
Corleone. He's the kid.
Okay, I haven't seen that. But the horse is Scarface, right?
Wait, the horse is not Scarface.
But the horse is in Godfather. Yeah.
The horse is
Horse
Godfather.
is Godfather.
Yeah. Horsehead is
The
Godfather.
little friend is Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Little friend Scarface. My little friend is a horsehead is Godfather.
Yeah.
But it's not in my bed as Al Pacino.
They're trying to intimidate a guy that they've done horse racing stuff with, and they kill one of the horses and put the head in his bed. So he wakes up with the horse head in the bed. Just so
Can we do the first Godfather coming up? Because
I've definitely misunderstood all of this my entire life.
All right.
Definitely thought the horse was Scarface. And I also thought that the horse was related to a drug deal gone wrong. Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna watch The Godfather for this particular program. It's gonna be great.
This has been the Godfather Report.
The Garfather.
The Garfather.
The Mouth Garfather.
Okay,
The Mouth
no.
Garfather Report.
The Mouth Guard Report. Open wide.
Oh, God.
We're through the looking glass.
Where did we leave off on this song? Right.
Where did we leave?
Cold.
Yeah. We got the
Someday.
retainer situation. Put in your
Retainer.
purse. So then we're back to the chorus.
And I'll never see you again. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're back to the chorus. I'm too drunk to fuck. You're too drunk to fuck. Too drunk to fuck.
Yeah.
And then one more stanza. It's all I need right now. Oh baby,
Ooh.
I'm melting like an ice cream bar. Oh baby, and now I got diarrhea. Too drunk to fuck.
I'm just glad there's a song that's telling it like it is, really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And then we get a lot of yas followed by the sound of vomiting. And that's how the song
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I guess my biggest question is, so he was soft and now he's melting.
Mhm.
So does that mean that there was a brief period?
She put the
Of-
retainer away. So maybe.
Was that okay? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's also the I don't know, like you can the concept of whiskey
Emotionally,
dick,
like, kinda like
Oh.
a popsicle.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like the concept of whiskey dick is not that like you can't get it up completely. It's like that useless
It's
in
just
between
like,
state where it's like,
yeah.
well, this is never
Yeah.
going to go anywhere. Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're making a good point. Unlike this guy, am I right?
Heyo.
Oh boy.
I said it last week that it was our best episode ever, but I think it's this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're on a roller coaster that only goes up, baby.
Ah,
Did you guys listen to the B-side of this?
No.
no, I did not.
Okay. So the B-side of the single is called The Prey.
Okay.
Prey. And it's an interesting little vignette.
Hmm.
So it's telling the story of a guy who's like at a bar getting tipsy and ultimately decides to leave because there is like a working gal and he decides
Mhm.
like, oh, I can't be doing that right now. So he leaves, and then like halfway through the song you realize that the person singing is like preying on this guy and follows him on his way to his car in order to rob him. And
Oh.
yeah, and then the like end of the song is like the start of the mugging. So we don't see into the mugging, we just see like the stalking portion. And so we interpreted this song Too Drunk to Fuck like pretty literally, but that B-side got me thinking.
Hmm.
And then I went and looked at their other singles, and the single that came out before this one was Kill the Poor,
Mhm.
which satire. It's like the flip side of Eat the Rich,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And then the single after was Nazi Punks Fuck Off. And so I was trying to think like,
Oh.
it's not, I guess I don't know the Dead Kennedys oeuvre well enough to make the following claim. But from what I know about the Dead Kennedys, it doesn't seem likely that they would make a song about like getting too drunk and then having diarrhea. Do you guys agree? Nate, you've listened to them the most of all of us. Like, is this just like a funny dumb thing they did, or is there commentary here?
Hmm.
I mean, I think on the surface level is that it is direct defiance to like what music is, right? Like the best possible outcome for them is to get into that top 40. The best consequence for them is to like break the top 40 with a song like this, right? This is a song that is so in your face intentionally saying one thing that it's saying and saying another thing that it's not saying. I don't want to say I'm not a Dead Kennedys expert by any means in any capacity. There is no way that I am. I cannot, under any circumstances, claim that I am a Dead Kennedys expert. But listening to this song feels like one, a defiance of like the music industry as a whole. It's like, hey,
Okay, yeah,
pop music, like this is an attack on pop music because it is a very poppy song. It's like a very formulaic song.
Mhm.
It does exactly what you want it to. It gets you in, gets you out. It's catchy. It's easy to kind of glom onto, but it's also just like telling it, like it's just defying expectations around what a song would be about, right?
Yeah.
No one's supposed to write a song about this. Like no, like songs are not about the disastrous side effects of getting drunk and meeting people and trying to hook up. Like songs are about romance, right? It's carpenters. It's why do birds suddenly appear? It is not this.
Okay.
So on that level, I think it's there. I also think like I was saying earlier, that like Too Drunk to Fuck can be sort of an existential statement, right? That like
Yeah.
you reach a point where you are so inundated with something that you are incapable of taking pleasurable action, right? Like
Mm.
that modern life, because a lot of, they're reacting to modern life and to politics and all sorts of things all the time, but like being too drunk to fuck is sort of like living now, where it's just like there's so much pleasurable, I'm throwing air quotes up, listeners, so much pleasurable stuff to do that it's almost impossible to take pleasure in any of it, because you're constantly like too drunk to fuck, I think, is spending an hour and a half scrolling through a streaming service trying to pick a thing to watch, right?
Okay.
That is a
Yeah.
too drunk to fuck kind of moment, because it's like, hey, this should be great. I have so much of a good thing, but it stops being fun, right? Because that's really what intoxication is. That you have so much fun that you're no longer capable of having any fun anymore.
Yeah. I feel like we like accidentally hit on this talking about watching movies and like sensory deprivation, because I feel like what related to what you're talking about is like we can't enjoy movies anymore because we've got to see what's happening on Twitter and what's happening on Instagram and what was that noise my phone just made. Too drunk to fuck.
Who's that at my door? Why are they
Drunk.
crawling in my window? Who left that baby there?
Dogs out. Who
Who
dogs
released the hounds? It was Smithers, probably.
So is the relation between the A side and the B side for this just that it could be two things? Because like we're talking about how Too Drunk to Fuck is not how what you would normally see in like the Carpenters or Some Beautiful Music. The other side is that you wouldn't necessarily see a perspective of a third person about to rob a guy who's trying to get with a lady. You would just see the guy trying to get with the lady. So most of the songs are probably somebody trying to get with someone pining after someone making love to someone.
Well, I will say with The Prey, I don't think that the guy was trying to get with somebody. I think that he realized that he was too drunk to fuck and left the bar.
Oh, yep.
And
so no option is good.
Yeah, you have to stay at the party and fall down the stairs and
get your you gotta go through with
hurt
it
by a retainer.
Yep, you gotta go through with it. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Once again, educational podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the point, as kind of the ethos of punk, and maybe the ethos of punk laid out in Nazi Punk's Fuck Off, like, is the free thinking thing, right? That like these are free thinking songs. These aren't songs that are connected to the zeitgeist, right? Like the zeitgeist doesn't want a song about a guy who doesn't hook up with a sex worker and then it gets robbed. Like that's not a song anybody wants to listen to. That's the stuff we're not supposed to talk about because it's bad. And so there's sort of, I think what's so interesting is this breaching, especially the UK top 40, because you have such a kind of like tut buckled down sort of culture that is then embracing this song that is so overtly the opposite of being silent and persistent and keep on, carry on, right? It's the opposite of that. It's like everything's broken.
You know what I wish I had looked up was so the UK punk scene was going strong at this point because that started in the late 70s. So like had the Sex Pistols reached top 40 yet? Like how common was punk in the UK top 40? I didn't look that up. I was reading about how, oh man, like UK personalities were nervous about this reaching the top 30 because if it reached top 30 it would have to be mentioned on the top of the pops.
Yeah,
and
the countdown.
They were like, what are we gonna do? How do we talk about this? And it peaked at 31, so they dodged a bullet.
I bet it's a conspiracy though.
It feels like a conspiracy.
Just gonna keep it locked out. Yeah, because again, it's resisting the zeitgeist. Like people don't the thing, this even goes back to like the music of the 60s that was even more innocuous. But, you know, Nixon was concerned, and Reagan for that matter, were concerned about young people in the 60s thinking about love as an answer to conflict, right? Because that's an idea. And ideas are dangerous when what your job is to make sure people go, oh, well, we have to go bomb this place because that's the only way to solve it, because we're good and they're bad, right? This is a song that's like that. That's like, hey, guess what? People are messy. People are messy, and it's okay to be messy, and stuff's gross, and people go out and do too much of a thing, and this is awkward, and men and women have free-flowing sex lives. Like, you got to think about, this is 1980 also, where it's like in the UK especially, but I mean even here, like the idea of mentioning like oral sex in a song is pretty fucking like, that's punk right there.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, you're not going to talk about getting head in a song. Like, you would barely allude to it.
When did we? Oh man, yeah. Like, oral sex for a long time was classified as deviancy, both like legally and psychologically. Like,
yeah, wasn't it in the DSM or something?
Yeah, it was in the DSM. So like, when does that get revoked? Is this before that?
I mean, it's got to be around that time, right? Because I don't think that it was spoken about in like polite company for a very long time.
Weird. Oh man, there's so much here. The Dead Kennedys, man. The Dead
Also, future
Kennedys.
episode, first song that mentions oral sex.
Oral sex, yeah.
Ooh, there you go. All right, we'll have to do some research.
Oh, man.
If it's this, like... we're just doing this episode again.
We've got The Godfather, and we got the first song that mentions oral sex, and I'm okay talking about this one again. So.
I'm just worried. The first song that mentions oral sex is going to be from like 1300, right? Like, it's gonna be,
that's fair.
You know.
I think that's great. I'm excited about it. Is it going to be a nursery rhyme or something?
We're just not. It's going to be like in one of Shakespeare's plays, and we're not going to have the music. We're only going to have the words.
So we're going to have to figure out how to sing it.
I'll figure it out.
Do you guys play instruments? I don't.
Yeah, I can play some guitar, but it might not be useful in some circumstances.
I'm going to be relegated to singing just like I was in Rock Band.
I'm not finding any immediate answer to the question of what the first song was, but there are several lists that are like 25 songs about oral sex that don't suck.
No, we want them. We want them
to. Yeah. That's poor choice of words, people.
So we talked about how holiday in Cambodia. Yeah, how that's on a lot of commercials. What commercial do you think what product would this song be a commercial for?
Oh, I mean, retainers is an obvious choice, right? Like, Invisalign could be like, you don't have to remove it.
That's a good one. I love it.
I feel like it obviously, like those like charcoal tablets that they sell at the liquor store that are supposed to be hangover cures. It would be like, we'll just play the first like 2 stanzas of the song before any swearing happens, and it's just about drinking too much and getting in a fight and falling down the stairs, and then be like, you don't have to anymore. Take one of these beforehand.
I don't know about
That's
you,
a good one.
But I'm not too drunk to fuck.
Oh, that'd be a perfect commercial.
I mean, a Viagra commercial would actually be kind of next level too. If somebody did that with Viagra or Cialis, like,
I don't know, copyright. Okay, I have a couple more fun facts that I wanted to hit. One, earlier I mentioned I had 2 stories about performances that the Dead Kennedys have done, and I told you about the $sign on the shirt one. The other one is they came out, I think it was at a political rally, so this one kind of makes sense, but they came out wearing KKK hoods. And then they pulled them off, and underneath they were wearing Ronald Reagan masks. Do you get it? Do you get it? I
was really worried you were going to say blackface.
Thankfully,
to be honest with
no.
you.
That would have been real bad.
One of the members of their band for a time, the drummer D.H. Peligro, he's a black man, so hopefully he would have like been like, no.
Bad idea, guys. Bad idea. Don't do this.
And then the other fun fact is Jello Biafra ran for mayor of San Francisco
What?
against Dianne Feinstein.
Who won't be seeking re-election.
Crazy. Oh wait, and I wrote down one of his party lines. Oh, it was great. I would vote for him today. His platform was that cops had to run for re-election every 4 years.
Yeah.
And his campaign slogan was, "There's always room for Jello."
That's really good.
Oh.
Beautiful.
And also there was some, I don't know, there was a bunch of drama between he and the rest of the band due to some like royalties issues, because they released a bunch of their records under Alternative Tentacles, the record label that like the band started, that Jello like ran, and like things just got screwy, and then there was a big lawsuit, and like the Dead Kennedys still like play concerts, but Jello is not part of them. And this song was used in one of the Grindhouse movies.
In
I forget which
Planet
one.
Terror.
Planet Terror.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen that movie, but I read that this song was played over a rape scene.
Yeah.
And
it's covered too. It's covered by
it's a cover. It's Nouveau
Nouvelle Vague, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Jello was like,
Vague.
yikes, ado. Why did that happen? And I believe his exact quote was, "Some people will do anything for money." So he's still
punk. He's still being
punk.
a punk about it.
He's still punk. Okay, yeah, let's play a game.
All right. It's time to play I'll See What You Did There.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a yay in British.
I was too.
Yoy.
Pip,
All I could think
cheerio.
was nor. No. But that's
Cheers,
the
governor.
opposite. There it is.
What's all this then? Ooh, that's a new game. We'll just start playing What's All This Then?
It's just like Jerry Seinfeld bits. What's all this then? Airplane food.
They call it a teacup, but it's not in the shape of a tea. What's all this then?
Oh God.
Oh, I feel like that's the best we'll ever do.
Yeah.
The game is officially retired. That's it. All right. This is once again collaborative. I see what you did there. So you're playing together against me, your horrible captor and and host. These are all themed around being too drunk, fucking,
Right.
and other Dead Kennedy related things. Number one.
Okay.
Got the
Hold on,
first two.
before-
We'll find out about the last one.
Yeah, before we start, I feel like there have been a couple times where Chelsea and I have taken this game to like a much darker place than you intended. So I'm worried that you're going to have like really casual, kind, like flirty, fun things. And Chelsea and I are going to be like, double penetration.
Look, I said it
We'll
before.
see where it goes.
Best episode of this podcast. I'm going to isolate that and use it as a drop. We got a new game.
Okay.
It's time for double penetration. Terrible. Okay, number
boy.
one. You're probably not too drunk to fuck if you're using this notorious cheating-focused networking website that was hacked a few years ago. And heck, if you're having an affair, you might want to update your do with this well-regarded dye company.
Oh, okay.
Dye Company. Kelly, do you know that one? I have the first one. Do you have the first one?
No, I have the first one.
Repeat the
well-regarded-
second part because I was writing down the first part.
If you're having an affair, you might want to update your hairdo, with this well-regarded dye company.
And it is like hair dye. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
like-
hair dye. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a hair dye company.
I dyed my hair a lot and I can't remember any of them.
I just hire somebody to color my hair because I'm scared of bleach.
Yeah. I got lucky.
Yeah.
Naturally bleached.
Wait, okay. Oh, sorry. I was like, wait, we've got clues here. We already hit the fuck clue.
Yeah,
So-
you can Google and see if you can
Yeah.
find the name of a hair dye
I'm not.
company. if you
No,
want.
no. We're not going to do it. Okay.
Hold on. Yeah.
So we know the first part is, and
Ashley
you,
Madison.
yes, Ashley
Mhm.
Madison.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is there a dye that starts? Okay. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is the dye starting with Madison or does it start with Sun?
It starts with Madison.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. That was a good question.
That is a good
Uh,
question.
follow
Because I
up.
That's
don't
real
have
good.
an answer.
Can you use it as in a sentence?
Valley?
No, I will tell you it's another name.
I don't know why I thought that was
It's
a
just
thing.
another kind
Okay.
of proper name. So
Madison
you have Ashley Madison, and then you have Madison
Ray.
last
No.
name. You're very close.
That's a person that I know. Really?
You're really close. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
You definitely have the first letter of the second of the surname right there.
Madison
Try
Rachel.
different vowels.
Raquel. Those are people that I know. I'm just naming people I know that have a name that starts with R. Ashley Madison.
A-E-O-U.
Ricky. Regina.
Regina.
You
No.
use woodwinds require this particular
Reed.
object.
Madison
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah.
Ashley Madison Reed.
There you go. You see what I did there?
So I recently got, this is going to sound terrible, Listex, but it smells exactly like the lubricant I used to use. Speaking of sexual, the lubricant I used to use on my clarinet. That
Oh.
part's not sexual. The clarinet part's not.
Well, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
unless
This
this
It's
is
a very
American
sexually
Pie?
charged
Yeah,
word.
I was gonna say
So,
that notorious
Uh,
scene from American Pie. Allison
yeah.
Hannigan.
Yeah, but that's a flute. A clarinet is not made for that. No, thank you.
Yeah, the
like
Uh,
flutes are.
Yeah.
I mean, flutes have like the rounded top. It doesn't have a reed.
Can we
That's-
talk about a
yeah,
piccolo?
no, hey, look.
Am I right?
No, piccolo.
I don't- I don't even know what a piccolo looks like.
It's a tiny flute.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's just a tiny flute.
You haven't been anywhere until you've tried a French horn, though. I'm just saying.
Oh God.
Yikes.
yeah,
I guess you could like
That just seems
You don't have to
complicated. It
use the-
doesn't seem
you
extreme.
don't have to use the mouth part. You can use the round part. You can do like a grind situation. A grind house.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Grindhouse.
No, everything's linked up. Everything.
true.
Synchronicity is everywhere.
It all comes back
Comes
together.
Closing the circle.
Oh God.
Just like the French horn. Okay.
Ah, you're both doing great. You've already got 1 point.
It feels like we deserve more. There were some really good riffs.
I thought we deserved less.
That's what happened.
Okay.
See, I was going to give Kelly, I was going to give you 10 points, but Chelsea
see.
wanted -9, so we'd settled on one.
You bitch. Okay.
We're
All
a
right.
team. This is a co-op, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Number 2. This is a pop song commonly sung by drunks while tickling the ivories, but probably not in pubs filled with fans linked to a UK Premier League soccer club.
Manchester United.
Oh,
You see what
that's
I
so
did
good.
there?
Oh, Kelly gets a 100%.
Oh.
I feel like
Dude.
it's not going to sound great, but I really want to clap. I want to applaud so hard for that right now.
That was amazing. That was
Oh my God.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was
I'm never going to
that was
recapture this
spectacular.
feeling. I need to savor this.
Incredible.
Whoa. Whoa. This is
10
like
points to Kelly.
This is like that time I watched Eraserhead and I was like really in the zone about it.
You were there. You were there inside the head being
Oh,
raced.
boy. Oh boy.
All right. All right. Hey, number 3. Number 3. Put the nickname for a woman on top heterosex position next to the title of a famous Vermeer painting featuring jewelry.
Cowgirl with a pearl earring.
You see what I
Oh
did
my
there?
god. Oh my god.
Synchronicity. Kelly's buying a girl with a pearl earring painting.
It just arrived.
Oh,
It's in the other room.
Amazing.
wait, how did you know? How did you know?
I'm in the eraser head now.
Oh my god. This is magical. You guys, we're so in sync right now.
Not
Please
the
tell me
band.
the next one's in sync.
This is
No.
amazing. Yeah,
In
we'll see what the next
synchronicity.
one is. Ah!
Ah,
I'm
no.
so sorry. I ruined your fourth question. Let's go.
Okay. Number 4.
Also, hold on. I just feel like there's like a pearl necklace situation that we could have done, but that's
That's
fine.
fair.
Okay, number 4.
Sure. I missed a lot of opportunities here. We're gonna have to do another really raunchy episode so that I can add some more in. All right. Number 4. This Kennedy wasn't one of the dead ones referred to in the band's name, but was a senator from Massachusetts for nearly 47 years. And he is now, in fact, dead. Now add this Dogie Ropin implement to create the name of a TV show.
Will you say what was that? Dogie, what was that?
A Dogie Ropin implement. What would you
leash?
rope dogies with?
Okay.
Kelly, are you looking at me? Because I have nothing.
No, I was writing my notes and just nodding. Because
So-
all I can think about right now is
Jack Reacher. No.
that's actually, I mean, that's really good. But yeah, the Kennedys in question would not be John Fitzgerald or Robert Francis. It would be
Mhm.
another Kennedy brother.
yeah, it's not that bit that I'm having trouble with.
Okay. Oh, if you're roping dogies, or
Okay.
the phrase "get along, little dogie" is a reference to what animal?
I'm confused.
It's cows.
Oh,
yeah,
cow.
it's cows. Yeah.
Okay.
So what would you use to rope cows?
Bro.
A lasso.
Lasso?
Okay.
Ted Lasso? Wait,
You
no.
see what I did there? Yeah. Ted Lasso is the name of
Okay.
a television show.
I forgot the television show part. That really would have gotten us there, I think.
Yeah.
We did great on this
If I had
one.
just reread the question, it would have really come together.
Oh, we got
Let's
you
talk
cocky
about
with
how
those
we had,
middle
like-
two.
We bookended it with terrible answers, but in the middle, we were sharp. We were
Boy,
sharp.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, it was
showed.
very good.
Remember us that way, not this way. Thank you.
I'm glad it put us back in our place, though. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want to go
fair.
into
That's
next
fair.
week riding too high.
You want to know that you had good moments, but
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to end on a high note. That was I see what you did there.
Yay!
Yay! I felt really good about that one.
Yay!
That was
It
a
was
fun
good.
one.
That was real
They're
good.
always
See,
fun. I'm not going to say this
You-
again because I
you
want
don't-
you to be
yeah.
humble. But
You don't have to lie to me. They're not always fun. It's okay. I
as
know they're
somebody
not.
who willingly goes to trivia, I think that they're fun. And when Kelly and I do it together, I feel like it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I'm
is.
glad
It is
we're-
definitely like fun with the collaboration and everything. The pacing and the energy stays high instead of a lot of
Yeah.
like silent pausing and waiting for
A
like.
lot of thought and discussion, and there
Yeah.
were people yelling at the podcast,
I
being like,
know.
"God damn it, these people are dumb. How are they going this way with it?"
Listen, we never claimed
You're
to
welcome.
be smart.
But those two answers, we
Piano
were.
Manchester United came out like a shot, and Cowgirl with the Pearl Earring came out like a
Cowgirl
shot.
with a
So
pearl earring. Oh my god, great job, us. All three of us.
all three of us. Speaking of great jobs, how many Debs does Too Drunk to Fuck get?
5. Sorry,
5.
I've answered immediately almost every time. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Nothing
No, I
wrong with
love it.
that.
I really enjoyed the song. I thought it was great, and I'm going to listen to more Dead Kennedys because of it.
I'm gonna give it five Debs. Also, I think that's great. I
We
think it's a
love that
fantastic song.
Debs.
So good,
Mhm.
so good.
Good.
Beautiful Debs for Too Drunk to
5
Fuck.
beautiful Debs.
What are we doing? What are we doing next episode?
We're gonna do the first conspiracy theory.
That's gonna be
I'm
fun.
so excited.
That's gonna be real
So
fun.
excited.
There's a lot of conspiracies floating around right now in
Yeah.
our world. It's gonna be
Mhm.
great. We're gonna get
Yep.
right into it.
I've got
Join
a lot
us.
of notes on conspiracy theories. Yeah, join us next week or
Yes.
next fortnight.
Join us next fortnight.
Next fort.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review it wherever you listen. That helps us out immensely. And honestly, go to Apple Podcasts, 5-star review, say whatever you want. You can do that. That'll make us happy. It'll make you happy because you'll have done a thing for humans. That's great.
Yeah, altruism, baby.
Altruism. That's a person's name.
Al Roken.
Al Roken. And if you like science fiction books, check out readspaceboy.com. Spaceboy Books. I publish books there. It's great. It's great stuff.
And if you like horror movies, check out Never Show the Monster, our other podcast about horror movies.
And we'll watch The Green Room, and Nate will be on there.
I will.
Yeah.
We're gonna have so much
Sometime
fun.
when we start
We're gonna talk
recording
about
more
dead
often.
Kennedys again. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't drink too much between now and next episode, because we want you to finish, listener.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pleasure is important to us.
With
Amen.
consent. With consent. We
Yeah,
want you to
with
finish
consent.
Bye, buddies.
Bye.
Bye.
First is best, or first is worst. Either way, let's dive in head first. Give us reasons to converse. Debut buddies.
Double penetration.